Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning. How was your night? Good to have you join us today on Morning Spring, your daily dose of information and critical conversation. This is what we do here for the betterment of having a working and a better society, and by extension, a better and a working Nigeria. That's why we have this conversation, turning out this information and having this critical, deep, frank, yet enlightening information and conversation every day. Femi remains my name. I welcome you. Today promises to be very, 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 very engaging because they are matters of, importance, public importance, and that's going to be happening right here. We're on Star Times channel 190 DTT, and also we are live right now on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. You can engage us on our social media platforms, on X, on Instagram, and of course on Facebook. Of course, facing my side, we have Evelyn, Ohiolei.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
Great, great, great.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, world. Thank you so much for joining us in another edition of Morning Spring. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, and it is a countdown to the end of the first month in the year of the Lord, like they call it, the year 2024.
That's right.
We are grateful to God for life. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and I welcome you to journey with us this morning.
That's right. And, on the program, we'll start with the headline segment. That's where we look at headlines from our major dailies each day. And, of course, we are going to do that. But very shortly, Evelyn, very disturbing news. The last 24 hours. We are not having guys of bad news, bad way, or we scavenge for what is bad. But then it is what it is. Sadly, we are told some monarchs, news added that some monarchs were killed by rampaging bandits yesterday and along the Ekiti axis, But and it's a very sad development. Very, very sad one. When you see monarchs, of course, we are all human beings, by the way, but you expect that traditional rulers are being killed by more raiders, and it is not, sadly, or fortunately now, or eventually, this is not even Plateau. This is not Borno. This is not Abuja, right there on the expressway, one of the routes in Ekiti State. Sad reality, Evelyn.
So I need to get to the root of this incident because it's a sad one. These are monarchs.
Sad.
And if they are attacking the monarchs, it means they are attacking the people.
Yeah.
So if they are going for the monarchs, what kind of message are they passing? Like I said, we have to, the security agencies, the intelligence agencies, they have to get to the root of this matter. We have to know why there's no reason for killing, but we just need to know why that attack took place. Was there any banter between them and those kings? Was there any, or were they sent on a mission? We just have to know, because news surfacing yesterday, surfaced yesterday, said Fulani headsman, and I don't want us to colorize it with a particular sect, because once we hear headsmen, we just say they are Fulani. There are other people that are not Fulani. They are not, that are headsmen that are not Fulani. We just need to first calm down. I know tension is on a high as of this moment, especially in Ekiti State. But we have to just calm down so that we can be able to see our nose, really.
That's right. By the way, our heart and thought are with those affected at this time, because the residents might want to feel attacked, especially the residents of those communities that have lost their monarchs, to feel an attack on their king is an attack on them.
And that's what it is.
By the way, news had it that two traditional rulers, as I said, were on Monday killed by suspected kidnappers in Ekiti State. And the monarchs were said to be returning from a meeting in Irele, Ekiti, when they were accosted and gunned down. The question is, why? Why? The traditional rulers were identified as Oba David Ogunshaki, the Elesun of Esun Ekiti, and Oba Olatunde Olushola, the Onimojo of Omojola Ekiti. Now, the police public relations officer in Ekiti State, that Sunday Abutu, has confirmed the killing, but said details about the incident was still sketchy, by the way, and said the tactical and intelligence teams of the command have been deployed to the area, of the incident, and it's been reported that Obadibayo Fatoba, the Alara of Araikiti, survived the ambush, and Michael Ogungbemi, chairman of our Johnny Local Council Development Area, was quoted as saying the government attempted to abduct the three traditional rulers. So at what point did he ended up in healing? That's what we don't have. Maybe by today, we have more clearer picture of that. Many kidnapping issues were told some happened along the Lagos axis yesterday as well. We can't confirm that some children were abducted as well, but we don't want to give you unverifiable news along the Lagos axis. The Lagos State PDP chairman that was released, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, was abducted along the Ogere-Remo, that's the highway between Lagos and Ibadan, just before Mowe. And then you're wondering what is really happening. Although it's not new, kidnapping along that axis reared its ugly head early last year, but then it was forestalled by the combined effort of Oyo State and Ogun State. But it seems whenever the people in charge relax a bit, these criminals usually regroup. And someone was saying it's like those unguarded territories, forests that these criminals were, that were pursued out of last year. Remember the late Arakuni Akeredolu was very vocal on why those guys, everybody leave the forest. If you have something to do in the forest, go through the right means, get registered. There were controversies why some persons were saying, why would they leave the forest? Right to movement. And say there is no, some of these rights are not just absolute. You have to go through the right means. And it seems these guys are back in those unguarded territories, wreaking havoc again. And 2 kings have died. Others keep dying. Others keep dying as well.
It's a sad situation we have in our hands. And this is not the time for security agencies to relax. It doesn't matter if we hear news or not. They should be on top of the matter every time. Especially
proactively.
Exactly. You don't have to be reactive in this country. You have to be proactive. A lot of stakeholders have always said that Nigeria leaders, Nigeria security agencies need to be proactive. And coming from Ekiti down to Osun State, we heard the resurgence of the crisis in Ifon, Osun, and Ilobu. There was crisis in those communities last year, but the governor waded in and it kind of settled down. But we heard that yesterday there was tension in that state. In fact, reports had it that there were speculations within the town that some buildings in remote parts of Ifon, including a police post, were razed down by some hoodlums in the wee hours of Monday, a situation that has heightened panic in the affected community. And we heard that even parents went ahead to, pick up their children from school, and there was panic all around. But definitely we will interrogate that matter when we get to the conversation.
Because of this program, all we are speaking to is for you to be informed, but majorly for us to have a peaceful society. And before we take this break, it becomes very worrisome when you now see people in government, handlers of government, trying to make it look like these things are being exaggerated. The FCT minister said something similar, and he got a backlash to say, please, don't play politics with our life. Nobody is interested in exaggeration. We're talking about human lives and properties here. And then Hope Uzodinma on a television program on Sunday was trying to say the situation was messy, and he kept referring to previous government, and he talked about from 1999, and I was almost getting to my television to say, excuse you, you're talking about 20 years of rot in your government. This APC has been in charge for the past 8 years, and you make it to look like, as we round off quickly, it's, this is a pattern. Evelyn, and I will tell you very quickly, when President Buhari came, it was more about the blame on the PDP government, previous government, for the first 4 years. After the first 4 years, it appeared that narrative wasn't selling again. And then the COVID happened and everything was blamed on COVID. That's why the economy went down, security went down, everything was in rings. And then Bola Tinubu came with a promise that everything is a renewed hope, right? 8 months after, oh, give him time. People are dying, give him time. The roads are not safe, give him time. 1,340 naira per dollar, give him time. He's not the one who caused this. It's one thing to be in problem. It's another thing for the people in charge to gaslight, to try to gaslight that these things are not there. It was not his fault. The pattern is there with President Buhari, and I think it has started again with President Tinubu, and Nigerians will not have any of that. How much was Gari rice being sold on May 29th? How much is it now? Today, January 30th. And these are the issues. And we will not shy away from bringing compatibility to where it truly belongs. Mr. President, you promised renewed hope on security, on economy. These things have really gone down. And these are the issues. We will keep asking these issues. We'll go on this break and we'll come back. We'll try to inform you, give you update about headlines from our major dailies. It's still Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. We'll be back. All right, to guide us through, firstly today on the headlines, we have the Guardian newspaper for today. Single-use plastics ban in Lagos. Businesses shop for alternatives. Advocate incentivized recycling. Page 6, I think that again. Single-use plastics ban in Lagos. Businesses shop for alternatives. Advocate incentivized recycling. And of course, you have the graphics there, graphical representation of this conversation, figures, plastic waste. You see the bottle is an interesting one. Of course, as usual, you just pick up a copy of this paper. Moving on, 2,423 people killed, 1,872 kidnapped in 8 months under Tinubu. Take that again, 2,423 people killed, 1,872 kidnapped in 8 months under Tinubu. So much for a renewed hope, by the way. Newspaper 6, that's where you have the detail. Who is saying what and what are the parameters. Moving on, Nigeria, Ghana lead West Africa's identity fraud crisis, or cases rather. Nigeria, Ghana lead West Africa's identity fraud cases. What does this mean exactly? Just below that, you have some picture of a particular company with some men appearing like to be in a good mood. And Ogun, from rising industrial hub to den of cultists and criminals. That's a very deep one. From rising industrial hub to den of cultists and criminals. News analysis, page 4, talking about Ogun State. And EFCC arraigns impeached Ogun Speaker over alleged 2.5 billion naira fraud. And money supply grows by 50% in 12 months. Compounds inflation. That's all from the front page of The Guardian.
All right, to guide us through what is happening in the nation, we move over to the Nation newspaper. This time, security men raise bar in battle against kidnappers. With the riders, Air Force bombs terrorists. Army, police rescue scores from abductees. 2 traditional rulers killed in Ekiti. Policeman in Imo. Mother, daughter murdered in FCT. And we should remind you that these are people, these are human beings, not animals, being killed. And you can definitely get the rest of the story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper today. And CBN injects $500 million into Forex market. And Ibadan blast, Makinde lashes Atiku. And it says, I empathized with victims, says ex-VP. Obi visits governor. To get that story better, you can get on the Nation newspaper this morning. And as we can see some... all right, away from that, let's just move over to the top corner. Before we move to the top corner, bottom strip, 3 Fiat killed as another communal clash erupts in Osun communities. On page 28, that's where you're going to get that. And sign attendance registered daily. Governor orders council chairman. Russia behind Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, ECOWAS quit threat. And lastly, Yaya Bello to replace Ganduje. Posters flood Abuja. Insecurity. State police call gets louder. Let's see. That's all we have on the Nation newspaper for this morning.
All right, from the Nation to the New Telegraph. The New Telegraph. By the way, talking about Kogi State, there was news yesterday about, you know, it's always an interesting one in Nigeria. You see me giggling like a baby right now when I saw that tweet, you know, a couple of them, that said in Kogi State, the governor has approved the office
of
the former governor.
But why did he actually say ex-governor? Why not ex-governors? I mean, we saw what happened in Kano State with Abba Yusuf, bringing together a council of former governors, former deputy governors, former council chairmen, former, you know, just he had a whole lot of, you know, formers.
Like a council.
Like a council to
former
to
governors and
advise
administrators.
The present government on issues, you know, concerning the state. So why will the Kogi, is it just only Yaya Bello, or are we talking about all the former governors of Kogi State?
I think it's a novel office. Maybe it's just the office. Whoever is the immediate past will be the one to occupy that office. But call it what it is. It's more like...
it's very suspicious because why?
You know, I can't even put a word to that office. You know, Kogi State approves the establishment of the office of immediate past governor. And I'm sure you are just trying to hold your laugh on these matters.
This is Nigeria.
Nigeria is quite an interesting one. Why would anybody want to leave Nigeria, by the way? If not for the security and economic challenges, you wake up sometimes and then you just, those things are amusing. Although, you know, to call it what it is, it sounds like absurdity, by the way. What does that mean? Why will, if actually Governor Yaya Bello accept that office, does that mean, because we learn that office will be run daily, does that mean we'll still be going to the government house? As who? And these are the issues.
On Spring Trends yesterday, we took tweets of people saying that this is Yaya Bello's third term in office. I mean, with
Evelyn,
his nephew
that assertion might not be far from the truth. Yeah.
And now he has an office as the office of the immediate
past governor.
I mean, we are still trying to grapple with the office of the First Lady. Now
and
we have the office of the ex-governor.
is domiciled in the State House.
Amazing.
Interesting one there. We'll get to talk about this. You know, I said it, sometimes in Nigeria, you just wake up, you see something. The best you can do for yourself is to smile and, you know, laugh at those things and, you know, just move ahead. Interesting one. Congratulations to the people of Kogi State on the new office. Now, talking about the New Telegraph newspaper, Southern Kaduna Christian leader to Tinubu, a serious one, declare state of emergency on insecurity to restore law and order. Declare state of emergency on insecurity to restore law and order with a couple of riders. Ask North Central governors to float security outfit. Zamfara solicits media support in fight against banditry. Insecurity, constitution amendment, electoral reforms, top priorities as reps resume. Right? And of course, moving on, INEC, 4.6 million to vote in February 3 by-elections. And Ryder says, Gilbert poll, we will ensure PDP retains Edo of Tuang. Okay, good luck to them. And just beneath that, study, toxic metals found in drinking water could age women's ovaries. Again, study shows that toxic metals found in drinking water could age women's ovaries. Okay, you need a detail of that. Please turn to page 26. That's not good enough, by the way. I mean, kind of news. Don't create problems for my government. Ubara wants pro-wiki appointees. Okay, the governor is talking very loudly now. Swears in a year as chief of staff. 5 others. Interesting one there. That's more like a turn and twist of events. Don't create problems for my government. Fubara wants pro-wiki appointees. We get to talk about that. The cost of the program. And Umahi to contractors. Governors must certify jobs before payment. Okay. Alleged 2.5 billion fraud. EFCC arranged impeach Ogun Speaker Oluomo to others. Tinubu's private visit to France. Nigeria back to Buhari era. CUPP. You want to know why the CUPP are saying that? Pick up a copy of the New Telegraph. A couple of headlines more. I was running $4 billion business before joining politics. Excuse me. Yes, thank you. In 1998, I take that again. I was running $4 billion rather, business before joining politics in 1998. That's coming from Ohiolei. Food insecurity, still Nigeria's big problem. OB, federal government approves 7. Excuse me. Federal government approves $700 million to link Lekki Port with road bridge. A couple of headlines from the New Telegraph.
All right, let's move over to the Vanguard newspaper. Let's check out what stories made it to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper for today. On Vanguard, the major story here is on insecurity. Kidnappers shoot at a moving vehicle. Man abducted, wife injured. And that's on page 5. Kidnap 3 victims praying at Camel Mount in Abuja. FCT police, SIS rescue victims at Kojay Forest, Gwagwa Hills. We arrested 139 kidnappers, rescued 154 victims in 2 weeks. This is according to IGP Egbetokun giving their reports there. And ECOWAS, we are ready to engage Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. This is coming from the federal government of Nigeria. An exit will compromise trade, delay return to civil rule. Akiyemi, Akin, Teriwa, others say. And to the top corner of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning, Naira records biggest fall in official market, depreciates to 1,348 Naira to a dollar. Femi, gradually we are moving towards the 2,000 Naira to a dollar mark. And
Sadly,
this is not good for our economy because this is actually at the official market. Now, what will the parallel market say? What will the black market say? This is really not too good for us at this time. But away from that, $20 billion Dangote refinery to import crude from United States. Why are we importing crude again?
Oh, well, it is what it is. So many persons have explained that it's just as a buffer if actually Nigeria cannot supply what Dangote refinery needs.
Okay, but I think we should just get to it. We do not have any business with importation of crude at this time. Away from that, same-sex blessings. Africans are a special case, but everyone will gradually accept. This is coming from Pope Francis. Let's see if Africans will accept this, because this is not who we are. Africans are majorly against same-sex marriages. And the Pope here, Pope Francis, saying that Africans will gradually accept it, even though we are a special people. And lastly, Makinde Atiku at war over Ibadan explosion. To get the details of that particular report, it is on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning.
Right, and if we can just take a flip back to that New Telegraph before we take this break. The clear state of emergency on insecurity to restore law and order. You see the writer there, Evelyn, ask North Central governors to float security outfit. Now, Evelyn, when it appears like every state or every region is now having its own security outfit, or for the want of a better, I want to call them militia, you know, to keep the people safe. What does that connote? It connotes a failure of the system. Because when you have to do things that the government should ordinarily do for you, Amotekun in the southwest. There is one in Buboyagu in the southeast, even when it's not really like all over the place. There was a time there was, I've forgotten the name now, of a security outfit being suggested by some persons in the north as well. The North Central is telling his people again now. Some persons are telling the North Central governors to flow security outfits. So what exactly are the functions of the Niger police, the Niger military, comprising of the Air Force, Navy, the Nigerian Army, NSCDC, civil defense, of course, there's the civil defense, all of these people? Why are we still having state governors having to go ahead compulsory now to just, empower some people, train them to secure the people? So where's the system exactly?
Gradually we are having a kind of pseudo state policing that the federal government have refused to actually execute. A lot of people, especially social political groups, have been calling on the president to actually implement or sign an executive order for state policing to be implemented in all states. Because whether we like it or not, our policing system, security agencies generally, they are overwhelmed. And even in so many interviews that we've had with security agents, leaders of security agencies, they will tell you that we are overwhelmed.
Overstretched.
I overstretched. And I remember during the campaign of the president now, who was an APC presidential candidate back then, he said there was a particular statement he made that became sort of a meme or went viral as at then. He said, recruit 500,000 people, youth into the army. What will you feed them? Cassava. If the president at the time had that dream to recruit more people into the army, to recruit more people into the police force, then what is stopping that now?
One would say those kind of talks at that time were just political talks, because they had to now clarify it's not 500,000, it's 5 million, it's not 5 million, it's 5,000, and the rest of it. But one thing is sure, as you have said correctly, these guys are overstretched. Ordinarily, they would not agree that they are overwhelmed, but it's looking like that, by the way. And we have been hearing these instruction directive from the government to withdraw security personnel from as detailed, those that used to follow VIP.
Celebrities.
But it seems nothing is changing. You still see VIPs going about with these details, from musicians to actors, celebrities, politicians. And you see almost like a quarter of the Nigeria police or some of these security guys are still with the VIP, yet we don't have enough. Now, when every region has to have their own security outfit, are we not losing it as a people, as a nation? And you have said it rightly as well. This is more like a pseudo state police formation. So why don't we just get down to the basics and do the needful if actually we are sure that having local arrangement is the way forward? And let's, have it as a structured, well-planned, well-thought out, well-trained people. But then that would be a constitutional matter, by the way. These are the issues that we have to deal with. But something is wrong, and we just have to get it right. It's Morning Spring. This is where we put the brakes on this particular segment, where we come back. Two communities are at loggerheads again. Sadly, lives have been lost. So for studies and to tell us what the government is doing, we will be joined by critical stakeholders. After this break, please stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. The conversation right now is about the resurgence of, an unfortunate incident in two neighboring communities that have lived together for years, and that we're talking about Ifon and Ilobu you know, two communities that you know, actually, there have been like a 5 and 6, but then it is what it is. There have been sad incidents in these two communities, and it's not just happening now. There is a history to that, a very long one. But towards the end of last year, something similar happened, and then back and forth, properties were lost, people died, and then the government, of course, a responsible government, would not just be sitting and be looking. The government waded into the matter. You know, there was a curfew to just make sure people hold their peace wherever they are at the time, and a peace accord was signed, you know, ending hostilities. This was put, I mean, signatures were put to paper, pen was put to paper by representatives of both sides, even other critical stakeholders as well, to say enough is enough. And these, you know, appear to have brought calm to the matter. But yesterday, news had that there was a resurgence of crises, and a couple of people have lost their lives. And people were wondering what happened to the peace accord. Who are these aggressors? What exactly do they need, you know, to give us an hang of what is really happening there? Is a special advisor to the governor on boundary matters, Barrister Bukola Onifade, is here physically in the studio with us to shed more light on what is really happening. Barrister, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to
Thank you.
Good morning, Nigerians, and good morning, people of Osun State.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Why are we back at this point again, at this sad point, Barrister, with everybody thought, thank God, you know, there is a calm, and there was curfew at that time. Later, the curfew was relaxed, and later the governor, in his magnanimity, called off the curfew to say, guys, please go on with your business, with your daily lives. But yesterday, there was a resurgence of violence. People have been killed. It appears something is wrong somewhere. Give us a hang of what is happening.
Thank you very much. Let me say this first of all, that on behalf of the Osun State government, we want to sincerely sympathize with the people that lost their life in the incident that happened yesterday between Ifon-Ilobu people and their families. We pray that their soul rest in perfect peace. It is a very ugly incident that the government will have tried as much as possible not to occur again. Now, having said that, let me clear the issue. The present situation, the incident that happened last year, that claims a lot of properties and lives, the location is Okpakpa. But in this present one is different from that location.
Okay.
Yes, that particular one has been resolved and settled, and the government have taken over the land and there is peace in that area. But this particular one, sometime last year, when we got hint of the new development, that some people from Ilobu who are customary tenants to Ifon in some of the villages that belongs to Ifon, we went to Surulere local government, particularly Aresadu, to file.
That's in Oyo State.
In Oyo State, to file a binding over suit application before the magistrate court, try to concede the lands that belong to Osun State to Oyo State. When the governor became aware of this new development, and the governor set up a committee to look into the matter, headed by the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Barrister Dosu Babatunde. And after that, the constitution of the committee, headed by the commissioner just mentioned, the commissioner called a meeting of the stakeholders in the two communities, that even 3 communities, about 4 communities, that comprises Ilobu, Ifon, Erin. The 4 local government chairmen in the area were called to the meeting. So it was at that meeting that we discovered that after the the incident happened last year in Okpakpa. Those who are customary tenants of Ifon, who are farming on Ifon land in those areas, were not allowed to enter into their farmland.
By who?
By Ifon people.
Okay.
Ordinarily, if at all, if you claim that somebody is your customary tenant under the law, there is a procedure laid down by law by which you can evict that person from your law, not resorting to self-help.
For the purpose of education, who are customary tenants?
Ilobu people are customary tenants to Ifon on those villages.
Okay.
There are about 8 villages. So it's different from Okpakpa, where the one that happened last year that claims a lot of lands and property.
Meaning those customary tenants are not from that place originally?
They are not from that, they are from Ilobu.
Okay.
But they have been on the land of Ifon farming. They have their both cash crops and arable crops on the land for a very long time, which they have been living together as one family. Now, after the incident that happened in Okpakpa that led to that one that happened last year, so the Ifon people, we believe that Ifon people agitated and said, okay, you have waged war against us. You have to move away from our farmland. We will not allow you to farm. Well, fine, they have right to do that, but they must do it within the confines of law.
There are processes to follow.
There are processes to be followed. But that does not mean that, based on that yes, they did not allow Ifon people, the local people to enter into their farmland.
Okay.
That does not make them to now be saying that the land we are talking about, the villages we are talking about, belong to Oyo State. And you will recall the huge amount of money the government put into the crisis that happened last year, which when the governor became aware of this present one, and the governor set up the committee which I've just told you, and we look into it. On the 19th day of December 2023, we had a meeting with the stakeholders, headed by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. Yeah. The SCA on Internal Security was there, the Surveyor General of the State, Director in the Minister, Director of Boundary, the Minister of Justice, and the Secretary of the Boundary Commission. I was there also. And you know, this is a government who is a lovely governor who would not want any of his citizens to have any issue legally. And the governor said, no, call them to a meeting. Let us look way out of this present issue. We know it's a serious criminal offense. The governor is aware of that. It's a very serious criminal offense. It's a serious insubordination. Conceding the land that belongs to your state. You are living in that state, and you are claiming that the land that belongs to that state belongs to another state.
For what purpose? For what intent?
Yes, the purpose is based on the fact that they cannot access their farmland. Based on the allegations that Ifon people have chased them away unlawfully.
So the customary tenants went to another
state, which is another state, and filed a binding over suit that they wanted to bind over the Ifon people who are chasing them away, now conceding that the land belongs to Oyo State.
So they are looking for an ally in Oyo State.
Exactly. Now, if you look at Osun State local government area creation and administration amendment that was done in 2019, this about 8 villages were involved. All the villages that were involved in that law is under Ifon-Ilobu Administrative Council.
Ifon-Ilobu Administrative Council.
It's clear. The law is. I can oblige you a copy of this.
Please, yeah.
So belongs to Ifon-Ilobu Administrative Councils. When you are talking about even the one where the crisis of yesterday occurred, we call it Wale Village. It's clearly stated. We have Idiroko, we have Barr, we have Molufon, we have Osuesa, Owode, all of them, there are about 8. They are clearly stated in the local government amendment creation of Osun State of 2019 to show that the land actually belonged to Osun State. But it's a very serious criminal offense and it's very serious insubordination against the government. A citizen of a state deliberately conceding the land that belongs to another state.
To another state. Did you get an hang of this? Because you said, yes, the government was aware of this suit. That means the suit is still in court.
Yes. The suit is still in court.
It's still in court.
Aresadu in the local government.
In Oyo State.
In Oyo State.
All right. So,
if you want to do that, this is the suit you can easily file in Oyo State.
All right. So, what did the Oyo State government do? Because you know this was going to brew problems. You say it's a serious constitutional matter. It's a serious offense, rather, for you to intentionally concede what belongs to a state to another state. So, what did you, at the government, do that time? So, did you call the people involved to a meeting? Did you let them know the seriousness of such acts? What did the government do?
Thank you very much. That was, I told you that when the governor became aware of that new development, he set up a committee headed by the Commissioner for Local Government.
Yes.
It was at that meeting on the 19th of December, 2023, that we discussed the issue. We let them realize. We called the stakeholders in the two communities and the 4 local government chairmen. There, all of them were present at that meeting. And it was at that point we made them to realize, especially Ilobu, we focused on the chairman of Ilobu. Please, you are the chairman representing the government. Thank God you are part of this government.
What chairman? The local government chairman?
Yes, local government.
Okay.
Local government chairman. Yes. Ilobu. He was in the meeting. We let him realize that local government, you are part of this government. This is your party. But you let your people know the implication of what they are doing. This is very, very wrong. Why are they trying to create another problem to the state government? The one that happened last year, huge amount of money was, let me say, wasted.
And lives were lost.
Lives were lost, property were lost. And those are the money that's supposed to divert to some developmental project that will benefit the people of Osun State. But the money wasted, and we made the chairman to realize, chairman, please, talk to your people. We are begging them. The governor said we should beg them that we are not fighting them. If at all, when we have the instrument of law to fight them, if at all, where we are aware of the fact that what they have done is a criminal, highly criminal offense for doing that. But the governor said, no, don't fight with them. They are our people. We can talk to our senses and they may realize what they are doing.
That's Onifade, sorry to cut in. These critical stakeholders, you said they were there. Yes. Those who instituted those suits, that particular suit, were they there?
They were not there.
Why?
Yes.
They were not invited?
No, they were invited.
Okay.
But the chairman of the committee said the process is continuous. Now,
what process?
The meeting.
Okay.
The peace meeting with them. That the next time, that please, we want to see your people who fight this action. And please, when you are coming next time, talk to them, bring them here. We want to see them also. And to talk to them, to let them realize what. And the chairman of the committee, the Honorable Commissioner for Local Government Assistance Affairs, the Honorable Dosowatu, gave the chairman of the Record Local Government 2 weeks to report back to the committee.
Okay.
And to the present time, I was with the commissioner last week to inquire as the local government chairman that you sent an errand. Got it back to you. He said no. That he will
hasn't gotten back.
Yeah, he hasn't got it back. That he will call him. Now, along the line, the chairman did not get back to the committee, headed by Honorable Dosowatu today. We received a letter. The letter, the content of the letter is not something, it's official. It's not from Ilobu. Trying as much as possible not to listen to the White Council of the government. But still.
From Ilobu as a community or from an association?
Well, these people,
because we need to distinguish this.
Yes,
the community can write a letter. A group of people, maybe the Sender Union, can write another letter.
It's not.
Who wrote the letter?
A lawyer.
Okay.
On behalf of the maybe IPU or whatever they call them, from the community, trying cleverly saying that they are not conceding, denying that allegations, but still repeating the same thing in another paragraph. It's as if they are being the letter, the content of the letter is as if you want to be clever by half, saying no, you are denying the allegation against the level against you that some of your subjects are trying to concede, and you are still reiterating that fact that the land those communities belong to Alai community in Surulere local government in the letter. So it's calls for, but still, the governor said no. We are not going to be provoked to the level of taking serious legal action. Still continue having your meeting. Please call them to a meeting.
So till this present time, you've not had a meeting, like a physical meeting with these people in?
No, we have not, because we don't know them. But we know their names. We know them by names.
So did you try to call them? Did you invite them personally?
The appropriate
because, sorry, Barrister, whatever happens, the action or inaction of few individuals, if it's going to cause the peace and tranquility of any community, then that's the business of the government to say, you guys will not cause problem in this place.
Thank you very much.
So did you do that?
Thank you very much. I am not from Ilobu.
Okay. I'm talking to you as a part of the government.
Yes. I answer that question.
Yes.
I'm not from Ilobu, but this government have representative from Ilobu, and we have called the representative from Ilobu. I know them. We ask them, bring them, want to meet with them. And up to this present moment, they has not. Okay. And I don't know them. I don't know their house, and I don't know where to locate them. But the appropriate person, we have the local, the House of Assembly member also, which is aware. Who are part of this?
Is it part of the committee?
No.
He's working with you?
He was invited, but he did not come. He was invited.
The member representing that area?
Yes, exactly. He was contacted. I think the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Local Government contacted everybody that's supposed to be at the meeting. The honorable member was contacted, but was not present. But he is aware because the local government chairman said he's going to brief him. Please bring these people.
All right.
So let's talk about what actually sparked up the tension yesterday. Have you been to the community since when this incident started? And if you let us in on the extent of the damage that has been caused in these communities at this time.
Thank you very much. Before the incident that happened yesterday, I've been to the village. I have privately, unofficial.
Okay.
Because when I'm trying, as a special advisor to Governor on Battery Bata, I made some move to have my own private investigation inside of what is happening. When I go to those villages where I can, they don't know me. They don't know who am I. But when I go to those villages, I discovered that you cannot see a single percent of Oyo State government. The primary school was commissioned, some of the primary school was commissioned by Babisi Akande, the former governor of this state.
Which villages are we talking about, Honorable?
We are talking about Wale.
Okay.
The incident that happened yesterday happened in Wale. Their life was lost. Okay. But we have Idiroko, we have Bolufon, we have Owode, we have Barr, we have Osun, Olugele. All of them, they are about 8.
All in Irekodun local government?
All in Orolu.
Orolu, okay.
Orolu local government, 4 Orolu. But I was able to get to about 3 or 4. Okay. But these are the villages some of the local people are claiming belong to. But I saw the presence of Osun State government developmental projects who have been put in place by the previous, even to the time of Babisi Akande. Okay. We have primary school, we have a health center belongs to Osun, those villages. And the funny part of it is that those villages, we have polling units that belongs to Osun State, the INEC registered as Osun State. That these people are voting there, they have their voters card there. All right. So we have enough evidence to show that this land belongs to Osun State. Okay. And it's not Oyo State as being claimed by them. But I understand what they are facing. It's not easy for somebody. I'm not saying what the Ifon people did was right by trying to force them out of their farm. If I thought they are your tenant, there is a procedure laid down by law for you, by which you can evict.
So this yesterday's violence, what caused it?
What, according to the previous report, at least the police will be in the best position.
Okay.
I don't want to say anything that will contrary to the effect, but
you are part of the government.
Yeah, exactly. But what
you advise the governor on
yeah,
boundary matters.
Yeah, exactly.
And these are boundary issues.
Thank you very much. Yes, the report. What happened yesterday was that there's a police station around that area, which was damaged some time ago. The 5 people went there about 3 or 4 days ago to rebuild it and do the roofing. And just after that, the Ilobu people now came to destroy and set it ablaze. Again. That was the preliminary report we got yesterday that escalated
into the town
to this present situation, that life was lost.
How many lives were lost at the violence yesterday?
The police, we have to talk about that. They were present there yesterday, and they recover. I am aware of the fact that they recover some cops, but they will be in the best position to answer the question. But at least I saw just 2.
Okay.
2.
Yesterday,
yes.
You were there.
I was not there, but I have the report. So
this violence, was it just contained in this Ohiolei community you called, or has it spread to other communities, maybe nearby communities?
Yes, if we do not handle it with care, it may escalate to other communities.
So
but the one that happened yesterday happened in Ohiolei village.
So the Osun State government, what have you done so far since yesterday? That's one. And many persons want, because I've seen many takes, accusing the government of not being proactive, that you saw this coming. You could have nipped it in the bud, and you could have showed some seriousness to know that, okay, this thing might boomerang. 1. Then number 2, there was peace accord. Yes, you said it wasn't about this issue at all. But then it's about that, you know, Ilobu people, Ifon people, or Ohiolei people, there will be no more problem. And so, who are these aggressors? That's number 2.
You see, thank you very much. Let us be honest with ourselves and we said the governor is trying his best. And we are proactive enough. If the governor is not proactive, the governor will not set up. We became aware of these issues since last year. And the governor set up a committee, which I have told you. You see, the governor is a very kind-acted man. Even when he has the power as executive governor to exercise power, he doesn't like, it is only when you go to extreme that we want to do what kind of enforcing law on you. The governor believed that all of us were one family, and Ilobu people, Ifon, Ohiolei, Erin, 4 of them have been living together before now. Yeah. But let me tell you, we were about 3. The essay on security, myself, the commissioner of police, and some other stakeholders. Since yesterday, we have not closed our eyes. We are on call. We are monitoring the situation of things. I was in contact with the DPO of the area around 1 a.m. this morning to inform him that there is a gunshot around our area, and he said they are aware of the situation.
So what's the situation now, as it stands?
The situation, everything is calm presently, and then by this morning, I think the security arrangement is ongoing, which I cannot be disclosing to you on here.
Are there movements? Are people moving to do their daily businesses, or they are still in their rooms scared of, further attacks or violence?
No. People are moving freely and doing that.
So if I get to Ohiolei today, I will see a bubbling community. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. No. Ohiolei is the place where the incident occurs. Definitely, you will not see anybody. You see, let me. This problem started in a way that the government did not close their eyes on it. But let me say this. It may sound indicting, but I don't care. We have to say the truth. I want to appeal to the Commissioner of Police, Osun State, to call his colleagues in Oyo to caution the police officers in his rural local government. I'm both to say it, and I have enough evidence to show. They contributed massively to the present state of affairs ourselves.
The police?
Yes.
In Oyo State?
In Oyo State.
Those in rural area?
Exactly.
They haven't been helpful on the matter.
Yes, I can say it. And I have my fact and figures. Because you became aware that this land, you have your own jurisdiction. You know that the villages we are talking about does not belong to Oyo State. But some people who are too desperate, who are too anxious to take what does not belong to them, are going to meet you, telling you.
And using them.
And using them to come and be causing problem on the line in Oyo State.
Onifade,
We have that, I'm coming.
Land on your thoughts.
I'm not trying to defend anybody.
Yeah.
There's many people, even there's a petition, there's a letter written to the AIG. There are many people that were arrested who are from Osun. You see, something will happen in Osun State. The police officer from Surulere local government will come. They will come and arrest the people of Osun State, take them to magistrate court. They will be reminded. Some of our people were just released from Osun State. We're just this about 5 of them last week.
Was that situation escalated through the right source? Because it's now that you are saying the commissioner of police should call his colleague there.
Exactly, to call the DPO of Surulere local government to order. He contributed massively
to what is on ground right
now.
You know
what is on ground, because if this is an internal issue in Osun State, but because, for example, there is one village, neighboring town called Aroin.
All right.
We have the fact and everything. We have it that the traditional ruler of that community now coming confirm it systemically tied to people of Osun State.
We have to go, but in one last breath, if you can answer this in 30 seconds, as the governor, Governor Odike, consider speaking to its counterpart in Oyo State to say we have this issue at our hands as governors. I'm talking about Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, because these are two governors and they are on the same platform, the People's Democratic Party.
It was even Oyo State to get a chieftaincy title recently.
Has he considered speaking to his counterpart in Oyo State so that this issue can be resolved?
That would be one of the recommendations that we make to the government. But before that, even when we are aware, we were, personally, I went to the Attorney General, Commissioner of Justice and Attorney General of the state, and he went to Oyo State to meet with the Attorney General of Oyo State, let him know what is happening. We don't want to fight.
Okay.
We don't want to. We have many other neighboring state crises that we are facing that we have not even resolved.
All right, Barrister.
So even the Oyo State we are talking about, we have their own in Iwo axis, which the National Boundary Commission delegate was around last year to look at it and resolve. So
thank you, Barrister.
The same family will look into it.
Please let's do that, because people have died. Those lives can never be retrieved. And so whatever the Osun State have to do to show seriousness, to curtail the matter, and when issues happen like this, there are fear of reprisals. We hope you'll be on the matter to just let the people know and enforce whatever you might have to do to make sure people don't lose their lives, needlessly. Thank you, Barrister.
Thank you very much.
All right, Barrister Bukola Onifade, there, special advisor to Osun State Governor on boundary matters, speaking to the Ifon-Ilobu crisis that resurfaced yesterday, and like he said, they are on top of the situation. From Osun State, we move over to Rivers State, where we are going to be looking at the developments in that state. We hear that the Governor Siminalayi Barr, has made some new appointments, and he is also talking tough. We'll go for this break. When we return, we have a critical stakeholder in Rivers State to talk to these issues. Welcome back. It's still the conversation on Morning Spring, and like I said earlier before we went on that break, that we will be shifting our focus to Rivers State. We hear that Governor Ohiolei has made some appointments, newly appointed as Chief of Staff and also commissioners, but he has made a statement that these people should not use their position to jeopardize his administration. To help us interrogate this issue and also matters arising from Rivers State, we are being joined at this time by Honorable Benard Odike. He is the Special Advisor on New Media to the Rivers State Governor, Ohiolei Barr. Good morning to you, Honorable Odike. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Evelyn.
All right, so let's know what's happening in Rivers State at this time. The last time we had a conversation was during the crisis that had erupted between the governor and his predecessor, Wike. But it seems right now the issue has died down. We now have a new, but we now have a calmer State House of Assembly headed by Right Honorable Martins Amaewhule. And in some kind of twist of events, the Right Honorable Edison here, who was recognized by the court, resigned his appointment and now has been appointed by the governor as the Chief of Staff. Tell us, what is happening in Rivers State?
Governance is happening in Rivers State
As expected.
as we speak. Though there's a deliberate attempt by some persons to keep us still on the lane of politics. People should understand that there is always a time for everything. And I think that's one beauty of this administration of Sir Ohiolei Barr here in Rivers State. Right from day one, the governor have been focused and have been determined to render service and deliver, the dividends of democracy to the people of Rivers State. Like he said, there had been distractions here and there, and that was at the Thanksgiving service that was held on Sunday. While we thanked God along with him for the victory at the Supreme Court, and that day too coincidentally was his birthday. He said that the church and the people should pray along, with him and for the good of the state to, so that the, issue of governance will just be what we have here instead of unnecessary distractions here and there. I think he's not interested in the kind of distraction that some people are trying to, and I just begin to wonder, some of these people, for instance, somebody like Martin Amaewhule, who is, as I speak to you, I can tell you categorically from the perspective of the law, Martin Amaewhule and his colleagues who are in the, in the center of trying to create unnecessary distraction for this administration, they don't exist. What? By virtue of Section 1091G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They don't exist.
So are you saying that the governor does not recognize them? Is that what you're saying? Because obviously the governor recognizes Martins Amaewhule as the new speaker, doesn't he?
No. See, I don't want to really go into that, but I am speaking as a Nigerian, as a citizen, at least that is literate to a large extent, having known what the position of the law is. What's happening in Rivers State, if you listen, like yesterday when the governor swore in the chief of staff and the new chief of staff and the other five special advisors, he made it clear, it was clear, the governor is, or even those commissioners, he told them, he made it clear that that they're implementing the directives, the presidential directive, the 8-point presidential directive. And he's been sincere doing that. It's like applying political solution to a situation. You know, Martin Amehule, by law, the Constitution of Nigeria is clear. Section 109, subsection 1G. It's clear that when a legislator who was or is elected on the platform of a particular party decides to move from that party on whose ticket he or she got elected into the legislature, and then moves to another party, that automatically he or she ceases to be a member of the House.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, the issue is they have tried to argue in the courts that there is a division because there's that clause in that or that aspect of that law in the Constitution that except there is division in the party or the party decided to go into a merger with another party. On that ground, anyone who defects from that particular party to another can retain his or her seats.
All right.
So, but in this case, there's no division in PDP, there's no known division in PDP, and PDP did not merge with any party.
Right,
so automatically.
All right, Honorable Odike, quickly, because we are pressed for time, and you have just confirmed now that according to you, as a Nigerian, Martin Amehule and those persons that left the PDP to the other party, they are not recognized by the law. You using your word to say they are nothing, actually. So, but it will appear, of course, that the resolution was done in Abuja and the governor is following through bad way. But with what you have said this morning, it will appear that the governor has been endorsing or transacting with illegality, because there have been correspondence from the governor to the State House of Assembly, and the State House of Assembly have, done confirmation on those commissioners that resigned. Many things that have happened between the two, although it has been more confrontational right now. That's one. And number two, many persons will say Governor Fubara has lost the plot. Immediately he signed that peace accord or resolution in Abuja, is bound to work with the enemies. It will be forced to an unholy alliance with the people that he knows where the alliance belongs. It's only a matter of time. Now you see, Martin Amehule has been talking tough. In fact, the manner in which he has been talking to the governor, he has even threatened that the House will not be taking correspondence from the governor again, as much as he has not been doing what he's supposed to do. So, is the governor not just alone, like a floating? Because many persons are saying it's a matter of time, things will boomerang again. So, number one, is Governor Fubara endorsing legality, having correspondence with people that are nothing by the law? And secondly, is political stature, talking about the governors of Rivers State.
Okay, the governor, the office of the governor is a creation of the law. As you know, even though who would say that Martin Amehule and Coco have been going about in Abuja trying to do shopping, trying to shop for orders. They have an order from the Federal High Court in Abuja, after a High Court of concurrent jurisdiction here in Rivers State had, based on the declaration of the erstwhile Speaker of the House, Right Honorable Edis Dehe, who, by virtue of the defection of Martin Amehule and others, declared their seats vacant. A court of competent jurisdiction here in Rivers State, upheld that declaration and, meaning that Martin Amehule and colleagues ceased to be assembly members. Now, we know that after that ruling, they went to Abuja High Court, a federal High Court in Abuja, and shopped for an order which is subsisting. Now, it is not, the governor is not an appeal court. It is not in the place of the governor to counter anything that the courts had said. As I speak to you, the matters are still in court and ongoing. Let's be patient and wait. It is just a question of time, depending on what the court says. And I believe that along the line, just like they have avoided to do what they ought to do, when the court, the state high court here, upheld their, the declaration of the vacancy of their seats, they were supposed to go to appeal, to appeal that order or ruling of the court, but they didn't do that because they knew what they were doing. It's like using illegality, to want to blindfold or becloud that which is legal. It is not in the governor's place to counter whatever they have gotten from anywhere. So let's be patient. So we cannot say that the governor is aiding illegality or might be, giving credence to illegality. Based on the order of the court from the Federal High Court, the governor is bound to play along until these matters are thoroughly, taken care of by higher courts.
Yeah, good to know that the governor is playing along, using your words. But you said recently that let me also use this medium to direct the secretary to the state government to assign the commissioners that were sworn in last week. Let the SSG assign only those of you who are here today back to their former offices. Let it be part of my birthday gift to you. But you went to say, but let me also say this, coming and taking back your position is not for you to use it to destroy my government. Whatever it is that you're doing, it is not about me. It is about the things that you can stand to defend and be proud of many years later. That's coming from Governor Fubara. Isn't this reminiscent of a governor who is panicking that these people might do something towards him? Because it appears he's on an unholy alliance. And he's like, more like sleeping in bed with the enemy. So it appears.
Okay, I don't think the governor I know is always very composed, and you hardly would see him panic. When you have a man, in this part of the world or all over the world, I want to say universally, because the creator of heaven and earth is not just a local God, but a universal God. The governor is someone who has total trust in God, and in his dealings, he's stable. As much as he brings to bear his intellectual capabilities, he also believes in the place of God, the authority of God. Like when he was speaking, I was in the executive chambers yesterday when the exercise, the swearing in went on. Everyone, he made his speech, he made it clear, and he even took time to tell certain story about life. He told them, when they were students, sometime in the 90s, under the military administration, when bursary was to be paid to the students of River State then, at a place called Civic Center around Moscow Road in Port Harcourt here. While they were on queue, and everybody taking his turn or her turns to take their bursary, it got to a young man. When the young man went there, the person who was in charge asked him, "Are you the son of social person?" And the guy felt so arrogant, so proud. He was so happy. Perhaps his father was a very prominent person. And then while that happened, he said, yes, he's his father. They asked him to wait. And while he was waiting, they kept attending to that. But at a point, he felt that, they were wasting his time, and he asked what was happening. And at a point, they told him that his father, that they won't pay him, that his father is a wicked person. And he told them, look, whatever you do, like you read quite rightly, he quoted the governor. He told them, whatever you do, remember tomorrow.
All right.
What you do today will either speak good for you tomorrow or bad against you tomorrow. He has admonished them, and he made it clear. One, let me tell you, anyone with the people is majority. Martin Amehule and colleagues and whoever, even the returning commissioners, look, you can see the level of abuses. Although I don't subscribe to people abusing anybody, the way people are ridiculing them, you know, sometimes begin to pity them. You know, they have returned, and he has told them clearly, it should not be a time, because we're talking about Rivers State. The governor to himself sees, he's not looking at it as his personal thing, and that's why he's not perturbed, he's not ruffled. He is just, you know, the focus is for the good of the states, and that's what he stands for. And if you watch what's happening in Rivers State, like I said, before the Supreme Court judgment, the governor had more than 98% support of Rivers people. But as we speak, that percentage has increased.
All right.
To above 98%. You know, the people are with the governor. This is beyond political party lines. As I speak to you, people are not talking about APC or PDP or any other party in Rivers State. What you hear is simplified movement in Rivers State. It's massive.
Right.
The people are with the governor, and that's why these people, whatever they do, they too are very careful, because the people are ready. The people are ready and do not want to hear or see anything to the contrary. The governor has come to stay, and the governor will deliver to the people and not the few. So the assembly members, the returning commissioners, whoever they are, it is left for them.
All right.
Like the governor directed the SSG, said, reassign them back to their previous portfolios. Just for those of them who attended the State Executive Council session yesterday, those who did not attend, I'm not sure for now that directive, you know, is for them.
All right, Honorable.
So
we are really pressed for time, Honorable Odike, but lastly, if you can just answer this very quickly, what is the governor's position to the representation of the budget? We know that an Abuja High Court has, you know, voided, nullified the presentation of the 800 million naira budget he presented to the 4-member House in December. So is the governor going to represent this budget as mandated by the High Court?
Well, there is also another ruling or order from another High Court in Abuja that has also directed that such should not happen. So, as I said, I understand that the governor is law-abiding and will always abide by the law.
All right.
You know, so if there are court orders saying that he should not do so, I don't think the governor will disobey court order to go and do the contrary. But everything is constitutional.
All right, Honorable Odike, thank you for being with us. But if not because of time, we'll have cheapened these. A video went viral last week of the chairman of Ikore local government, Honorable Nwa Sike. I can see you giggling already, in which at a meeting he called the governor very untreatable names. And he said, in as much you guys was talking about Fubara and his boys, in as much you will not stop sponsoring people to be abusing his own Oga, that was that's Minister of FCT, that's Minister Wike, that he as well, the local government chairman in charge of the Ikore local government, he will not stop abusing your boss. Your take on that? Quickly, 15 seconds.
Well, it's unfortunate that somebody in such a position, you know, a local government chairman, somebody entrusted with, you know, responsibility to oversee a people, you know, could come out in the public to make such utterances. That's to tell you, after he spoke, have you had the governor respond to him? The governor won't respond to him. You know, it's like a case of, what do you call it? A barking dog. A dog barking at a lion.
But Honorable, why are you guys sponsoring people to be, you know, abusing his own Oga?
No. For instance, like me that's talking now, yes, an appointee of the governor. The governor didn't ask me to come and talk with you, did he? Did the governor appoint me to? Did the governor send me to come and talk with you?
All right.
You reached out to me because you felt I had an opinion and I am talking to you, and whenever I talk, as I'm talking, I abuse. Let me tell you, we all supported Wike for over 10 years.
Okay.
And we stood by him, somebody like me, solidly behind him. And what happened? When they decided to go against the wish of the people, we all agreed.
All right.
And we voted Simfobara as the governor.
Right.
Now you now turned around with the assembly guys to want to remove him. And we said, no.
Okay.
We won't do that.
Thank you.
So when a disagreement that we're disagreeing with him does not mean that we're insulting him. Are we insulting him?
Okay.
Does he own this state as his personal estate?
Okay.
This state belongs to all of us. Wike has been governor. Even me that's talking, who knows? I could be governor tomorrow.
Right.
So this Mr. Simfobara is the governor. Allow him to govern River State.
All right.
For goodness sake.
Thank
Is
you.
that an abuse? Is that an insult on anybody?
Honorable Benard Odike, thank you for your time and your take. We'll stay have you for a much longer time, maybe in the course of the week. Thank you for always being available to speak to us on development in River State. Honorable Odike is a special advisor to the governor on new media right there in River State. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, of course. Interesting take there. It appears we've not had the last of these. Because Martin Amaule is talking tough. The governor is saying, guys, you have been brought back. Don't destroy my government. We wish, trust us to be on this matter. Evelyn, let's go.
Yes, we have to go, but ensure to stick around for Spring Trends coming right after this. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei, and remember that you can watch a repeat of this broadcast on our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. Connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, which is now X, at Western Spring Television.
Of course, God bless Nigeria. Femi is my name. Bye.